so glad you are here, and I hope you enjoy and will stick around and will subscribe and like and hit the little bell so that you get notified whenever I upload another video. Mine is a world full of makeup and glam and DIY, decor, all kinds of things. But the video for today that I've been so excited to do is a DIY. I love repurposing things. I love reusing old stuff. I don't like things to go to waste if I can help it. And I'm always keeping my eyes open to come up with a new idea for how to do that. And one of the things I noticed when we moved back in October was that we had a ton of old, ugly picture frames that had been just shoved in a ottoman and in a closet, and they were gathering dust and dirt, and they were way out of date, you know. And so I was like, well, do I throw these away, or do I, you know, pack them in a box and bring them with us and see if I can do something with them? And so I decided to pack them in a box and bring them with us. And so they've been sitting on my living room floor since we've been here, ready and waiting for me to do something with them. And so just a couple weeks ago, I went through them all, took out all the old pictures, and kind of stripped them down and decided kind of what I thought I would do with each one, tried to come up with some different ideas. My little girl Lyric even helped me with one of them that she is in love with and can't wait to put in her room after this video is over. So what I'm going to do is I did several. I did kind of the gamut or the spectrum of what I would consider maybe the different personalities and styles that people may have. I'm very eclectic and I love all of these that I did. And so I'm going to play some footage for you of me putting them together that gives you an idea of how you do it. And then I'm going to give you a close-up shot of them and kind of talk to you a little bit about them some more after each one so that you can kind of get an idea of how I did it, where the mindset was when I came up with it. So without further ado, here we go. Like that first one. It's definitely my style. It definitely is a good picture of who I am when I put things together or think of things or decorate a house. I'm always thinking glam, glitzy, you know, beautiful. So this one was kind of, for me, it kind of was my little ode to makeup and glamour and fashion. And so here it is in person, in real life, if you didn't get a good look when I was doing it on the screen. So here it is, and really it was a dollar store frame that had been sitting around. And so what I did was I took apart those two necklaces, a couple of old necklaces that I didn't wear anymore. I grabbed some white sequins and some gemstones and some feathers, and I just took my hot glue gun. I made sure to take the glass out before I did it, and then I glued all these on, and voila, we have a fashionista frame. That's my little girl when she was a baby, and I think it fits the picture really well. So this will probably go on in my bedroom in here on my beauty wall. So That's frame number 1. Okay, frame number 2. This is for all of my more subtle people, the people that don't like a lot of flash. Maybe you're just more subdued in your personality. I actually love this one. I didn't know that I would when I was doing it, but I absolutely love it, and I am going to use it. I'm actually going to put it on our gallery wall. I got super creative with this one because it's not something I would naturally gravitate towards, but I ended up loving it. So this is frame number 2 that you saw. And so what I did on this frame, I was so excited that I thought of this. So what I did with frame number 2 was first I took just some lace and I trimmed the edges with that lace and glued it on hot glue. Nothing fancy. I suffered many a traumatic burn during this because I'm not always the most careful. I'm kind of fast and careless sometimes. But this is the lace. So I just used a lace trim to cover up the old florally paint stuff that was on there. And then I used some old buttons that I just kind of dug out of. This is a burlap flower, and if you don't know how to make them, there are tutorials all over YouTube for how to make these. It's very simple. You just, it's a matter of laying it out, yanking out some of the strings and rolling it up and flattening it out. So it's not too hard. And I just stuck a big button in the center. And so then these are paper flowers that I actually made. These are so easy, so fun to make. I kind of think of them therapeutically. Whenever I'm stressing out about something, sometimes I will literally just crawl in the bed with this is scrapbook paper that works. You know, construction paper, cardstock, whatever you want to use. I will literally just grab some scrapbook paper, my scissors, and some glue dots, and I can sit and make flowers. What's in the center of them are some little beads that I had left over. That's a button and a button there. And on some of these, I just distressed the ink a little bit, used an ink pad to just distress and add a little color to them, get the edges with a little depth. And then the green up here is just that green paper rope stuff, and it's really good for like creating depth in whatever you're working with. And I I just used it to kind of create some volume up here. But I absolutely ended up loving this frame. I'm going to use it on my gallery wall that I'm doing in my living room, which I'm sure I'll make a video of when I'm done with that, but I love this one. Okay, this is the last of the big frames. This is frame number 3, and this is for all of my very, very back to nature people. Those of you that love all natural, holistic things, and you like, you know, being out in nature. You're a camper, you're a hiker, you are a nature trail walker. This frame is for you. And I never would have naturally thought of this frame until I moved to Nashville. And there is so much done with wood and pallets and natural products here that it just kind of came to me in a split second as I was walking around out in our yard, and I was like, I could do a frame with these. And it is a wood frame. It is a scrap wood frame. I literally walked around outside, found some of the nice bark pieces that had come off, some tree limbs, anything I could find, these little sticks, broke them up. I found a gorgeous tree limb that was a twisted kind of limb, and I was going to use it on here, and then I got selfish and I wanted to put it on our piece of barnwood that has our name on it. And so that's going to go up on my wall as well. So you'll see that eventually, but I stuck with what I had for this one. I absolutely love this. I think it turned out so cute. This would go great in a den or a man cave or an office of some kind. You know, I think it's just really, really earthy, and it turned out beautiful. And I literally just glued these pieces on, and I just made sure to shake off all the dirt so that we didn't have dirt everywhere, but I'm in love with this. So I think it turned out really good. Okay guys, frame number 4. This is for all the kiddos. and the mothers. I don't know about any of you other moms, but I am overrun by Shopkins. I have got Shopkins coming out of the ears. It is nuts. And they're the things that I step on in the middle of the night when she's calling for mommy, and I go in there and I'm running in there, and I step on a wad of Shopkins on the floor, and I'm like, good grief. We have hundreds, feels like thousands of Shopkins. So, and obviously when you do Shopkins, you get duplicates because they're smart like that. And so I was trying to think of a kid's frame, and I happened to walk in her room, which was an absolute disaster, and I saw all these Shopkins all over the place. And I saw the duplicates laying there, and I thought, what could I do with those so that they're not everywhere in this room? And all of a sudden I thought, picture frame. So we made a duplicates picture frame, and that's that little hand you saw creeping into the video screen was my daughter. It is a great project that you could do with kids. What I did was I held the hot glue gun. I kept it on a low setting so that it couldn't burn her, and I put the glue on the Shopkins, and then she would put them where she wanted them. I also, with some of the other items that we put on it, I would let her use the Elmer's glue. So this is what we came up with at the end, and I think it's absolutely adorable. Can you see that? All those duplicate Shopkins coming to use. She loves it. She's going to put this on her. This is her picture that she keeps on her nightstand, and now we've put it in this beautiful frame. She added some little flower jewels, gave one a hat, added in some colorful little puffy balls. Those are those balls you can get at Dollar Tree for $1. You can get like 200 of them or something. So we just hot glued these on. We used the glue gun on a low setting so that she couldn't get burned. It's a nice setting. I didn't burn myself either. So this is a really cute project you could do with your child if they're into Shopkins and you got duplicates, or I know that there's other things that you can get that you get duplicates of in those blind bags and surprise toys. So this might be a fun option for them to do a craft with. So I think this idea is awesome. So give it a shot. Number 4. We're on 4. I can count. Isn't that cool? Okay, frame number 4. Guys. This is a guy's frame, okay? You know, my husband is one of those guys. He's pretty well-rounded. He's not, you know, overly into one thing or another. So sometimes it's hard to come up with things I can give him or do for him. And I thought this would be a great idea. So I took a picture of his buddies and that he had in this just very ugly, just plastic framey thing that he had sitting out. And I thought, I'm going to put that in a cool frame for him. And so what I did was I took an old frame, I painted it a platinum silver color because I knew that would kind of a gunmetal-y kind of color. And then what I did was I went and I dug through his toolbox, and I dug through his kind of his odds and ends box of like coins and pins and things that he's kept and souvenirs and stuff. So this one, it has, you know, hardware on it, obviously nuts, bolts, washers, that kind of thing. It has some, you know, a little wrench here. But the things that he loved the most about it was I put his name tag on it. I put his old EMT insignia seal because he used to be an EMT. I took some pins from when he went to Alberta and Lake Louise. I think there's a couple more on here. Pikes Peak, that kind of thing. So I incorporated those in, and then I incorporated some coins, and then this is an old watch that his dad had given him that didn't work anymore. So as you can see, it's really fun. There's his name tag and all the little things that we put on here. I'm in love with this frame. Haven't I said that about all of them so far? Oh my gosh, I'm such a dork. Okay, so I really like this frame. I think it's going to look cool in his office. So this might be one to try if you have a guy that you're not too sure of. Another thing that I had thought of, I was going to do a bullet casing frame. I thought bullet casings would look really cool, but he didn't have any empty casings, and so I didn't want to do it with live ammo. Thought that might be a really bad idea. So, but if you have some casings, or if you want to collect casings, if your husband's into that, into, you know, shooting guns at the shooting range or something like that, you could get some bullet casings and do a bullet casing frame, which I think it would look really cool. This was really my second choice, but I think it turned out really good. So this might be a good idea for a gift. Maybe Father's Day gift would be great for that. So. Last frame. This is so pretty. I loved this frame. As I was doing it, I was having so much fun, and you know, you can't really mess it up because anything you mess up you can do over and fix again. And it's the decoupage frame. So what I did was I had a piece of sheet music scrap paper, scrapbooking paper that just has notes on it, and I had a piece in an antique color, and then I had a piece in a white color. So what I did was I did not paint the frame. I didn't take anything off the frame. The frame was in cream and gold with a floral thingy up here. So what I did was I took the scrapbooking paper, I Mod Podged the whole frame, put the scrapbooking paper on, then I Mod Podged over it. And then as a secondary layer, I took some pieces of this older looking music and I singed the edges and crumpled it up and put it on top of what had already been put on. And then I took a little template and I cut out a treble clef and cut that out in the white paper so it would stand out against the darker paper. And this is what we came up with. And I'm going to come a little closer so that you can see. If you can see that, I kind of rippled and burned and shredded some, and then over here's where I added the treble clef, and it kind of comes down. This is fully hard, fully sealed, so it won't come off, it won't break. It's nice and hard like a lacquer. Mod Podge is the name of the product that does this, and it's absolutely a great product if you're wanting to do any kind of art project. Those paper flowers that were on the other frame, my plan is to Mod Podge those because I didn't do that before I filmed this, but I do want to do that, and it will harden them up so they don't get bent or torn or things like that. So it keeps them in really, really good shape. So yeah, that is the last frame. But if you guys liked these and you want to see more of these type of things, I am game for it. Gung-ho. I love any kind of project. I'm planning on doing some more DIYs and some more projects, but I hope you guys love those as much as I did. So give me your ideas. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit the little button, all those things that everybody always wants you to do before you leave their channel. So please do it so that I can get more of you involved in Jen's world. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Bye.